I was talking to one of the analysts I really respect yesterday when it suddenly hit me. And it hit me so hard that I had to stop to catch my breath. Oh yes, it is something that is very serious and affects anybody who is following our politics in a very serious way. Actually, it is a major crisis that nobody seems to be seeing or even paying attention to. But I can assure you, it is real and it is here with us. And of course, it is very consistent with what is happening all around us and indeed all around the world. Of course, most of us are aware which season we are in, okay? And those who have followed this channel for a long time will also know that this season of exposure also comes with something called deception. We are in a period of world history of great major deception. Now, I don't want to keep you in suspense any longer, and so let us get on with it. And I assure you, at the end of my show today, your reaction will be, what? Hai! Karibuni sana. Twende kazi. For all of us to fully understand what was going down here and what hit me, I need to tell you the whole story from the beginning. I was discussing with this analyst when they told me something that blew my mind and led me into that moment of shock. He said, during the recently concluded by-elections, he was following very closely the results in Malava as they were streaming in. And so he decided to use AI, artificial intelligence. And he asked the simple question, who is winning the Malava seat, parliamentary seat? Please be just a little patient and you too are going to be shocked. Okay? Now the answer that came back surprised him because he was told that UDA are leading and they're going to win the Malava seat. Okay? Now, it surprised him because he and I were closely following the results from the polling stations. And we knew exactly what was happening. A man called Panyako, the opposition, was leading. In fact, he had very comfortable leads in virtually all polling stations. So where did AI get that answer? And so my fellow analyst, who was more than a little upset, told AI that this information is not correct. Guess what happened next? It looked like AI was apologizing, and then he got a brand new answer, showing candidate Panyako's lead in virtually all the polling stations. Now, my old friend could not put it all together, because he's old school dumb. And he does not fully understand how these things work. Okay? But when I explained to him what I'm about to explain here, he was shocked. In a nutshell, somebody within the UDA outfit, somebody in State House, somebody linked to this government, had manipulated the AI results. How do you do that? One needs very deep knowledge on how search engines work, and more specifically, how artificial intelligence works to give you an answer to questions that you ask. Specifically, which sources AI usually goes too fast to get an answer. And then all they did was to make sure that they fed a lot of fake news into these sources that are important to artificial intelligence. And pop, it was done. Please allow me to remind us that during those by-elections, we had fake results posted online, which did not reflect the results coming in from polling stations. Actually, those fake results predicted the results that were announced by the IEBC, which contradicted what was coming in from polling stations. Beyond simple. It blew my mind because of what we had been discussing immediately before this issue of AI came in. We were discussing Sonko's new political party. And the view of this seasoned analyst is that Sonko has been paid by Ruto and Ruto allies to mess up the votes, mainly in Nairobi and Mombasa, to divide opposition votes and therefore give Ruto a bigger chance of winning the next presidential elections. Actually, this analyst, who I really respect, was merely repeating propaganda, carefully planted by government bloggers. He had swallowed it hook, line and sinker and believed it without even stopping to think about it. Now, remember, this is not just an ordinary mwananchi, being fooled by this propaganda. No! So imagine what it does to the rest of us who may not be so experienced in politics. The truth is, had he stopped to think this through, just for less than a minute, he would have known immediately that information cannot be correct. Can never be correct. Okay? Why? We are being told that Sonko was paid. Hold on a minute. Mike Sonko was paid money by somebody. Mike Sonko was motivated. That's the important part. Mike Sonko was motivated to do something for money. Hey, Sonko is a very generous man. And of course, he's not perfect. There are very, very many things about Sonko that I don't like. However, please, let's stick to the truth without emotions. And the truth is, Sonko does not have any money problems. Motivating Sonko with money is not impossible, but it is hard to imagine. It is hard to believe. It is very hard to believe that that is the truth. Now, let us look at this from a different angle. Okay? Who would benefit from the public believing paid by UDA to mess up the opposition votes? Which side of the political divide would most benefit from people believing that story is true? It's obvious. It's UDA. What actually this does is that it clips the wings of Sonko's party. It really slows down any political headway Sonko may have had. I am sure you're following. Which means, without any other evidence, and I have other evidence, but without any other evidence, it means that it would appear that this was propaganda planted by UDA people to slow down Mike Sonko's new political party and his political initiative going forward. Because the mood on the ground is that nobody wants to hear anything about anybody who has any association with UDA or Ruto. Nobody wants to hear that. And we saw that very clearly in the by-elections. Supporters of Ruto were innocently appearing to cast their votes, like Alfred Muto in Machakos. And the voters were angrily chasing them away. I mean, these people have not even come to make a speech. They have just come innocently to cast their vote. And the reaction of the public? Hey, it was clear for all of us to see. Bottom line, A vast majority of us are manipulated. Yeah, we are fed narratives that we swallow hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, which we see online, and yet we already know that the government bloggers online doing exactly that, and yet we still get fooled. Let me give you another example. Regarding Gachagua, right now if you go online, the attacks on Rigathi Gachagua are massive and consistent. And one of the narratives that government bloggers have managed to sell to the public is that Rigathi Gachagua is a tribalist. Okay, I'm not defending Rigathi Gachagua, but let's just look at the facts. Let us even assume that indeed Gachagua is a tribalist, okay, for argument's sake, so that we don't miss the point here, because the point here is very important, okay? So Gachagua is a tribalist. Now what effect does that have on a united opposition? It has a massive effect. Nobody's going to follow Gachagua. If this regime was not so hated, I believe that there are some voters who would have preferred Ruto to a tribalist. Now hold on a minute. If you do a quick check of the number of PSs in government who all hail from one community in Kenya, this research cannot take you a long time. Yeah, just a few minutes and you'll discover. All of them hail from one community. And that community is the same community as President Ruto's community. So I need to ask a simple question. Who is the bigger tribalist here? Is it the person whose bloggers are accusing Gachagua of being a tribalist? Or is it Gachagua? Please answer that question for yourself. I think you want to hear the main propaganda, the strategy that government bloggers have had against Kumekucha Chris. Okay, it's very simple. But also it is very effective for people who are new on this channel. Okay? And it is, Kumekucha Chris, your predictions are always wrong. 100% of the times, they are wrong. Now somebody who is new to this channel has no reason not to swallow that one, hook, line, and sinker. That's just an example. And I can give many, many more examples. But the huge problem here is as follows. We normally call out these government bloggers. We catch them red-handed. We quickly identify the false narrative they are trying to spread many, many times. And we assume that we have gotten it 100% correct. And there are no other false narratives that we have fallen for. Actually, there's plenty of other information, because this is a full-time job for these guys. Kutoka asubuhi mpaka usiku wa manane, they do nothing else. There are so many other pieces of propaganda, lying narratives that get through to us and influence the way we think, influence the way we feel about our politics, and will ultimately influence the way we vote in the next general elections. Yeah. Now, let me also give you another piece of information which I've already given on this channel in the past. In case you did not know, a prominent government blogger purchased over 100,000 fake Twitter accounts from India some time back. But what is the impact of that? I'll explain. It means that this person and his allies are able to make any topic of their choice trend on Twitter. Now, you know what it means when you trend on Twitter. It gets massive views. It is seen by millions of Kenyans. And therefore, millions of Kenyans are influenced by the truth that has been twisted into a lie very cleverly. And they have no idea what is happening. And by the way, don't get me wrong. This has nothing to do with how intelligent people are or how not intelligent they are. No! It has to do with science. You know, there is a huge difference between reading a book Reading a book improves your brain, exercises your brain, while reading something online is actually harmful to you. It actually makes you stop thinking and analyzing. You just take in information, and without thinking, you absorb it as the gospel truth. And I don't think that is an accident. I believe that is very deliberate for these times we live in. I'm sure some of us understand what I'm talking about. And if you don't, maybe referring to the graphics on your screens right now may greatly assist you to understand this very damaging thing that is happening right before our eyes. Yeah? And it is my hope and prayer that producing this video will help most of us stop and think as we consume information online. Because, for example, the Sonko story, if somebody stops just for a minute and asks a very simple question, can Sonko be motivated by money? What are the chances of Sonko being motivated by money from somebody else to do something? The answer to that question would immediately tell somebody to slow down and look at something a little more deeply. Now, I'm not a Sonko supporter, and so I beg you to leave your emotions out of this and look at the bigger picture here. Okay, that is just an example. But I can assure you, it is happening all around us, all the time. I am afraid dunia haina huruma. There is no pity. There is no empathy we should expect from anybody. Many of you faithful followers of this channel did not get an opportunity over the offer we have during this season of giving to Chris Kumekucha. Okay? Benefit how? Benefit by getting the highly valued, highly treasured golden key. And so today I've been forced to come back again. Yeah, you can see the latest offer on your screens right now. And remember again, it is for a very short time. After you make your latest donation, this time minimum of 1,900 Kenya shillings, just shoot me an email and I will give you, wait for this one, permanent golden key membership. This is an amazing offer. Please hurry, and remember, this is to reward all those of you who are the real heroes and heroines in this channel, because they were supporting me when nobody knew who Kumekucha was. Huyo nani? Those days they were supporting me faithfully. Okay? And the channel is what it is today, and the Kumekucha Chris brand is what it is today because of these people's contributions. Siwezi kusahau. And therefore this is a lovely opportunity to hit two birds with just one stone. Please take full advantage of it. Take full advantage of this opportunity, remembering that it is ending within hours. So please move with speed. I believe within 48 hours or so it will be gone. Okay? And I don't think we'll do this again. So please move with speed. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.